Okay, small disclaimer. This piece is not intended for people who consider themselves a hobbyist and are currently enjoying streaming to fearless people for the perpetual and foreseeable future. If that's you, great. Ignore this, but enjoy it nonetheless. Otherwise, continue on. With something like over 9.2 million Twitch streams monthly, 500 hours of video uploaded every minute on YouTube, and over 550 million tweets per day, it's fair to say that if you're a starting small or struggling broadcaster, you need all the help you can get. And this is why it's so important to understand why small streamers and broadcasters alike can and often do unintentionally hurt the small streamers and broadcasters they're actually trying to help. But what are these behaviors that YouTubers, Twitchers, tweeters, and content creators alike do that actually hurts the person they're actually trying to help out? I compiled a list of 5 common behaviors I believe and have experienced throughout my 3+ years of doing this stuff as discouraging and unhelpful actions that we all have maybe been guilty of at some point in trying to help show support to our fellow social media brethren who know our pain and how it is to be unknown and struggling out there in this space I like to call the care about the things I care about space. Let's go through each. Number 1, liking videos that you have no interest or intention of watching at a reasonable percentage for it to be valid as an act of engagement. This is especially true if you do so with no basic understanding of how algorithms like YouTube's works. For instance, you're not helping other broadcasters by just liking the video and bounce rating it. It's best that you leave the video well alone if you have no interest in actually watching it, or giving at least some genuine feedback as to why you didn't watch the entirety or at least 60% of the video. Platforms like YouTube are focused on trying to figure out legitimate engagement so that they can give quality videos to similar viewers looking for the same thing. If you avoid doing this, a broadcaster can actually have a chance at learning, improving, and growing. Number 2 is jumping in streams you have no intention or time to watch long enough to be counted as an average viewer, which is a key engagement signal aside from monetary, of course, to live platforms such as Twitch. It's best to stick with broadcasts you actually want to watch, interact, or lurk in regularly. In this way, the streamer knows exactly where they stand as far as progression, discoverability potential, and viewer interests, and thus whether what they're doing actually has a chance of growing into a legitimate community. So number 3 is liking content on Twitter or Instagram and the like that you have no idea, interest, or intention of engaging with or what it is. Again, although a kind gesture, it's a gesture that sends very passive false engagement signals and impressions to things you're attempting to share or say. Imagine if there were no likes on those copy-paste, I'm going live tweets playing such and such game. The broadcaster might actually stop, be creative with their copy, or even try something at risk of receiving actual engagement. This behavior of trying something new, rather than the typical false-like engagement you tend to get when using, say, a small streamer's hashtag, will actually have a positive effect on all areas of your social media as you'll start to think about the quality of what you're posting, the storytelling element, and maybe even new methodologies. Number 4 is following content based on it being at the bottom of a directory, what I like to call sympathy following, or in the hope of getting a follow or shout out back immediately or over time. Again, this sends false signals, messes up analytics when you're trying to read what actually is going on, and the broadcaster's ability to read said data. It slows the sinking in reality of a streamer's true predicament, that their current strategy is and likely is never going to work. Honestly, honesty is the best policy here. The sooner people know that what they're doing isn't playing out, the sooner they can change course or focus on strategies, platforms, and plays that might, or even focus on something else entirely like education or new skills or improving old ones. False or forced following stuff you're not interested in, therefore only likely hurts the streamer. I didn't even put likely, it hurts the streamer. It also hurts your own ability to raid, host, or highlight the people in the communities that you actually value. Because how can you tell one from the next if you're just following everybody that is just showing up and trying? Alright, and number 5 is actually false words of encouragement and motivation. This is a contentious one, I suppose many of these are. But, false words of encouragement and motivation rather than true actions and true critical feedback is a big play in terms of actually helping someone or otherwise. And this is really well-intentioned, but it's incredibly unhelpful. There's no point in saying things like, just got to show support to the small streamers, or just keep up the grind and eventually it will happen for you, if you really don't have the time, the ability and genuine intention to show that support consistently over time in a way that actually aids that broadcaster's growth. That means different things on different platforms, but at its core, it comes down to literal engagement, illegal methods aside, of course. Consistency, meaning like 60% or more watch time on a YouTube video or a Twitch stream with real lurks, reactions, and or feedback. Actually answering that tweet that was obviously a question you potentially just thoughtlessly liked only. Liking a video and leaving a comment because you actually watched it, imagine that. Doing the things in a real way, just as you'd want them to be done for your own content, your own stream, and the things that you care about. Listen, at the end of the day, it's impossible to support everybody just for trying or because of their size. And the results and value of your support will only be as effective and appreciated if it is consistent and feels genuine. Imagine actually wanting to be there rather than just trying to support somebody because of their size. Also, the more people you try to do it in the false way for, the less effective you'll be at helping anyone, as you can only watch, engage, and support so many people in the social media space in a way that platforms care about as well, which results in increased exposure. If you stick to what you actually regularly like, it'll be easier to support those things in a natural and effective way and create some kind of equilibrium in both methods people are using and the amount of people trying to use them in the first place. I mean, millions of good people are banging in nails right now with a screwdriver. But what do you think? Am I right? Does this hit home or trigger much anger in you? Or will you start to purge your false follows and begin becoming a better supporter of the things you actually enjoy? Share your thoughts or forever hold your engagement and like one of the videos on the screen. It might be pretty cool.